Still in the money bubble, shorter stack 6 big blinds only, so yeah, I will be the one that has to at least double up once, unless there's this setup. I think Alex Kulev has 10 big blinds, so yeah, one double up and we're back in the game.
Let's crush.
So in the next couple of days, I want to play at least 3 10Ks in the area, the high roll against the best of the best. Has unlimited re-entry, so we might have to fire more bullets, but we'll see. And bear with me, I haven't been recording as much as in the previous vlogs. You still get all the hands, all the important hands, but bear with me that I haven't recorded as much as in the other vlogs. I just wanted to focus on poker, and you know, as a poker player, of course, you're in a better mood the better you run. And I'm also just a human being, and I didn't feel like goofing around, recording content. So we're gonna summarize all the 10Ks I've played in one vlog. So it's gonna be multiple days, so you're not gonna miss any action. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to like, to subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments.
All right, I'm at the area. Time for some high stakes. The 10K. It's a one day, unlimited re-entries. Let's see how many bullets we need and how soft or how tough it's gonna be.
The field, to my surprise, is actually quite good. A lot of businessmen, a lot of recreational. Just a one day, so relatively fast structure. Of course, it's higher variance as well, but I do like that structure because I feel very confident playing these, especially near money and near money bubble and money bubble situations. First big pot I've played in the 10K. We are, I think, 7 or 8 handed. He raises from under the gun. We're in the hijack with pocket tens. We have around 40 big blinds at 1,000, 2,000. We start with 125,000. I think I have a pretty clear call. 3 betting would be fine as well if I'm sure that my opponent can 4-bet jam a lot of suited aces, ace 5, ace 4 suited, pocket 9s, pocket 8s. Because also against under the gun, our value range is pretty thin. I mean, typically it's jacks plus ace king. So it's very easy to be out of line with your ace 10 offs, ace jack offs, ace 5 suited, king 10 suited, right? So it's actually not the worst spot for a thinking opponent to 4-bet jam those kind of hands against you. So I decided to flat and also have a hand, if someone squeezes behind me, to just click it back and just jam all in. So he called, I call, everyone else folds, flop comes 9-4 deuce, 2 hearts, 9 in spades. We don't really block the flush draws, which is good. And he checks to us. I decided now to bet around 4,000, 5,000. And he raises to 14,000, which is a bit of a weird sizing because a lot of the hands that you want to be raising with are hands where you want to be having a stack to pot ratio where you can pot size jam or slightly overbet jam the turn. So if you have jacks, if you have maybe an ace 9 in hearts, where you want to get it in against weaker flush draws or apply pressure against something like tens. So if you have kings, queens, jacks, I think very often you're going to see a bigger sizing to like 16K, 17K, and then build the pot. So the smaller sizing seemed pretty weak because it's going to be very important to connect the dots for our turn decision. So I decide to call. I was thinking also to re-raise and get it in on the flop if I feel confident that he's not having a good hand. But I just decided to call, leverage my position advantage. There are going to be some nasty runouts, but also for him, right? So just because there might be some nasty runouts, it will also help us, especially if I think his range is weak. I didn't see so many like ace 9 and clubs. So the only hands that I think I will sacrifice EV against are hands like ace 9 and hearts, king 9 and hearts. Or if he has something like 9-8 in hearts and apply pressure against my ace 9 and clubs, king 9 and clubs, that if he jams the turn, I will fold. However, I call now. The turn is the 3 in spades. So now we have a double flush draw present and he decides to jam all in, which if he would have sized bigger on the flop and then pot size jam, I think I would fold more hands. But considering his flop sizing, which at least wouldn't be my choice, I just put him on a bunch of draws, even though they have lots of equity. If I'm wrong, it's going to be very expensive. I think it's like 70K behind and the pot is like 40, 45K. So it's quite a bit of an overbet jam. So I have to be very sure. I call, he shows ace 6 in spades. So we're in a great shape. Unfortunately, river 5, he hits a straight and GG Busto, first bullet. And you guys know, kindergarten suckouts, we go again.
So we just got reseated, a pretty tough table. As you can see, Stevie, Maratho in the back. 27 left, 10 paid. You get around 35 big blinds, but it's like 30 minutes blind increase turbo, so very high variance. So just doubled up. We're now playing 350. Table full of crusher. And now we're final two tables. Let's go. Stone bubble, we're the shortest stack, 8 big blinds, 11 left, 10 paid. Let's go. Alright, we need some help here. Ladies. Mamacitas. Oh, we got some help. Let's go.
We are on the stone bubble, and I was about to go into the break, and while I was walking by the table, I saw Stevie and Alex were playing a big hand, which I was really surprised about. Stevie open raised the small blind, and Alex had, I think, less than 20 big blinds. He was the second or third last in chips. I was the clear short stack with 7 to 10 big blinds, so I think he should be just shoving any two. So I was actually thinking that Stevie is pretty strong here. Maybe he plays a mixed strategy of shoving and raising the bottom hands, so he can also raise his top hands. But I just think even if you have 3 deuce off, it should be a profitable jam, the way most people call and the way ICM works in the spot. But yeah, maybe Stevie plays a different strategy and it's totally fine. Now on the flop, ace, 6, ace, with a flush draw, he bets and Alex calls. And of course, Alex is also going to have a decent amount of traps. I think he would be shoving a lot of ace-x. He can for sure have kings, queens. He can even have, of course, aces. But I'm not sure if he would flat ace king. I think he would 3-bet it small to induce something or to reshove. So for both players, it's kind of like a weird board where both of them are probably just shoving the ace-x unless they have aces or kings. They don't really have anything. So Stevie bets, Alex calls, and the king on the turn. Now, both can have kings, and it goes check, check, which I think they would also do with their very strong hands. And then the river is a blank, a low card. Stevie checks, and then Alex goes in the tank and shoves the river. It's really hard to say what Alex could be bluffing here, because even if you have queen jack or jack 10, I think you have showdown value. Because if you floated with queen high or jack high, Stevie is never going to have pocket 8s here. He's never going to have pocket 7s, right? He's just open shoving those from the small blind. So Stevie sits on 7 deuce or 7-3 off or 5 deuce off. So your jack high is actually really strong on this board and has massive amount of showdown equity. So it's really hard to find bluffs here from Alex's perspective. Maybe he was floating like a really, really weak hand on the flop and then jams the river. But I think even for every top player in the world, it's going to be hard to find enough bluffs here. They surely can find bluffs, but it's going to be hard. So yeah, I think Alex's line is pretty strong. Maybe he was taking advantage of it and maybe he had a bluff, but we don't find out because Stevie folded, we head to the break, and I had to try to double up at some point to make it in the money.
Still in the money bubble, shortest stack 6 big blinds only. So yeah, I will be the one that has to at least double up once, unless there's a 6 setup. I think Alex Kulev has 10 big blinds. So yeah, one double up and we're back in the game.
Stone bubble of the 10K. We got ace queen off for 10 big blinds on the button. The hijack opens one of the bigger stacks. Ace queen off, clear reshove, folds to the small blind, big blind, then back to the hijack. He makes the call. We have to wait for a little bit because they want to run the all-in simultaneously if there's an all-in on the other table, but there's no all-in. So I have to sweat for several minutes until he has to reveal his hand. Bad news, he has ace king and we need big help.
Just the queen one more time. Oh.
GG, that's it. Yeah, pretty much carded it on the bubble, defended the queen 6 suited against the min raise. I was the pretty shortest stack anyway. Could have done good with top pair. We double up to 11 big blinds. We have a pretty standard rejam, button versus hijack. But unfortunately, he woke up with ace king off. Yeah, sucks. You play for another 12 hours and stone bubble. I don't know. It's rough, but we keep going. So I'm heading now to the Poker Go studio. for my second 10K. The first one did not go so well. Stone bubbled it, unfortunately. Another day of 12 hours of grinding. But that's the grind, get used to it. It's right next to the area. The area is over here. It's in fact not in the area. I also had to learn it the hard way. I was running around trying to find the Poker Go studio. We will go there now. In the background you see the massive skyscrapers. I'm actually very curious how the field is going to be today. A lot of people are going to celebrations, to party, July 4th, or I expect it definitely to be a smaller field than last time, maybe even a bit tougher. But yeah, I'm excited. Hello. All right, we're picking a seat now here. This one, table 3, seat 7. All right, so dinner break is over. Late break is over. So we're 21 left. Favorites are breaking now. I've got the Uber crusher to my left. Unfortunately, I have to play like a nit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 500k. He got around 400k. So unfortunately, we can't bully him. Here it is actually still pretty decent. So gonna be a tough battle. How is the WSOP main going for you?
I'm gonna move the account and re-enter tomorrow.
It's not a re-entry, right?
No.
He busted day 1 already.
That's why I need a second account.
Okay. Alright. What's the screen name of your second account?
I know who to ask for some inspiration.
I would know as well who to ask. But we're gonna keep it a secret. So we're 17 left. We have around 450k, which is like 30 big blinds. 17 left, 11 paid. I think we need 1 double up, and then we should be good. Let's go. Right. Look. Queens? Yeah. We need an ace. Ace 10 against queens. Or 9. Clubs. 2G. Well, today at least I didn't stone bubble, but yeah, soft bubbled it. I'm not gonna lie, it slowly gets really frustrating, especially since for like 6-7 hours, really solid grind, and not really even getting any gifts, and you see all the regs just punting it off in these soft fields. And yeah, and you have a lot of fun players in these tournaments, and then 20 left to 11 left, sitting there with 50, even 60 bigs, and really good near money bubble spot, near money bubble stack. But then just lost pretty much every single pot from there on, and it's getting rough. Not gonna lie. Not winning any all-ins. Lost every all-in that I had. But then just kept grinding my stack back up, and then near the money bubble spot, I think ace 10 was my best hand, and I just rejammed it with my remaining 5 big blinds. Did a bunch of raise folds, very standard, like 15 big blinds, hijack, ace 7 suited, I think near money bubble, so standard min raise fold. Especially with the players behind, that 1 or 2 of them were actually rather passive, so I know they're not going to find these GTO rejams, so it's pretty stupid to open jam this. And then defended my big blind twice, check fold. In one spot it was actually weird, where it was 6-4, 3 diamonds, and I hit queen 10, queen and diamonds, and he puts me all in, like slightly overbet. I just think he can jam too many ace x and king x and diamonds where I'm almost dead, so yeah, I'm gonna jump now in the Uber and head home. No, it's actually not my Uber. Alright. Anyway, yeah, so tomorrow, main event, and I'm gonna play one more 10k area than the day after.
Everybody always talks about getting to the top. Everybody always talks about going after their dream. But nobody talks about retention, and the work that is required not only to get there, but to stay there and go to the next level. And so the mentality